mother of a child, 9 weeks old female, inspected the tent that the family were occupying in the camping ground at Ayers Rock and found the 9-week-old daughter to be missing. The mother did recall just prior to that noticing a dingo in the vicinity of the tent with something in its mouth.
Fact is stranger than fiction. But in August 1980, when the story broke about a baby being snatched by a dingo in Central Australia, it seemed incredible.
This morning when we saw on the blanket the sharp, jagged marks in that very thickly woven blanket, we knew that that was a powerful beast in the sharp teeth.
And I just yelled. There wasn't time to go and tell people. I just yelled out, has anyone got a torch? The dingo's got my baby.
Even as Michael and Lindy Chamberlain braved the media less than 48 hours after the disappearance of their baby daughter Azaria, this was developing into the story of the century.
Well, it was tailor-made for a mystery. It was an exotic location. It was the middle of the Australian desert. It was parents who belonged to a New World religion, that is Seventh-day Adventism. It was a baby disappearing. It was a seemingly fantastic story, and all the elements of really an Agatha Christie mystery about it. That combined with Lindy Chamberlain's sexiness and the ability of both the Chamberlains to pose for the media and play the media for all they were worth, and all that added up to a mystery, and the public became obsessed by it.
I'd say 99% of Australians believed the headlines, including myself, at that time. So everyone thought that Lindy wasn't telling the truth.
They did themselves no favour by the way they portrayed themselves on the media. Michael did himself no favours by scuttling around on the morning after to get a black and white film for a photographer to get shots away to a Melbourne newspaper. They did themselves no favour by leaving on the Tuesday when searchers were still out on the sandhills. But that said, people do behave in a very funny way in traumatic circumstances. And they do things which, on reflection, they would not do.
By the time coroner Dennis Barrett visited the site of Azaria's disappearance for the first inquest in early 1981, the Australian public was already jumping to its own conclusions. Every fragment of evidence was seized upon, and the rumours inevitably followed. We watched the story unfold like a telemovie. In a bid to quell the speculation, the coroner took the unprecedented step of allowing his findings to be broadcast live.
Tuyui News.
Mr. Barrett finally exonerated the couple who have been subject to some of the most vicious gossip, he said, this country has ever seen.
Well, when she came out of the inquest, they had a long tube. No one quite knew what was going to happen, and they took this photo out of the tube, and it was a photo of, Azaria being held by Lindy, and that picture made the front page all around the world.
What are your plans now for the future?
Try and live normal lives and back to our children, try and have a holiday in New Zealand and then get back to our studies.
Barrett was so appalled by what he thought was the hysteria surrounding the case that he did go a little bit overboard, and he very, very severely criticised the Northern Territory Police, and that had the effect of antagonising the whole of the Northern Territory Police and government, who did not feel they'd solved the crime and were prepared to carry on.
The police kept the file open, and then another sensation. A new inquest was ordered after police forensic scientists claimed to have found fetal blood in the Chamberlain's car and a woman's bloody handprint on the baby's jumpsuit.
The police did a search of the Chamberlain's house. They found a black dress, and why not have a black dress? I'm wearing a black suit. What's the point? It's a black dress, it's a black dress. It doesn't mean it's satanic.
Theories of ritual killings ran hot in certain sections of the media. The second inquest found the Chamberlains had a case to answer.
I watched Lindy and Michael very closely. They just didn't seem the type that would make up a story like that, and I got to sort of know them, and I changed my mind completely.
The very first day, the jury was impanelled, the Crown started tendering exhibits. One of the exhibits was a photo of the dingo, of a dingo, and then there was a photo of a dingo blown up. And at the double meaning of blown up, the jury went into fits of laughter. And I could see at that moment, I said the Chamberlains are going to be convicted.
The media rumours erupted as journalists rushed for the phone to tell the world of this decision, something that has been awaited for nearly every Australian for over 2 years.
The race was on to get the next exclusive photo onto the front page.
They were being chased by foot, car, and I was one of the chasers. I mean, everyone chased them. When she was in jail, we were outside the jail more or less 24 hours a day in case that she had a visitor, which Michael did take the kids up to visit her. And
despite the unravelling of forensic evidence over the next 3.5 years, every appeal failed. But this extraordinary tale had one more twist in store. In February 1986, a tourist fell to his death from Uluru. In recovering the body, police discovered a baby's jacket. An examination revealed enough for the Northern Territory government to release Lindy immediately. The Chamberlains' convictions were later quashed. But the damage had already been done. The Azaria Chamberlain saga told us more about ourselves than the Seventh-day Adventist family we put under the media microscope. The police and the public were bedazzled by unsound forensic evidence and swayed by images of Lindy and Michael Chamberlain not behaving the way we thought a grieving couple should.